If the candidates will come up to the front. County Commission.
Yeah. If it's just, if they're running the post, we'll do four. I think that's pretty quick. But otherwise, you're
Okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 of them.
Okay. Guys, you have a button on your microphones. If you'll push those, that'll light up green. It tells you you're on. And we're going to draw for order. And then, if you will, right at the beginning, because I know most of you guys, but I don't know everybody that's running for county commission with the full names and everything. So, if you will, just state your name when you start to speak. Let's start at this end and go this way.
just open on that first.
All right.
2.
All right. And if you will, just, what's your full name?
You want me to go ahead?
Yep.
Okay. My name is Jan Leja, and I am candidate number 2.
State the name one more time, please, Jim.
Jan Leja, L-E-J-A. I married a Polak. What can I say? Okay.
Thank you, Jan.
I left him home, by the way.
Go ahead, Katie.
I'm Katie Fox Huffaker, and I'm seeking re-election for District 1 for County Commissioner, and I would just like to say I'd appreciate your vote and support in the upcoming election.
What number are you?
Oh, and I'm number 1.
Thank you.
I'm Aubrey Jones, and I'm running for District 1 County Commissioner, and I'm number 4. Do you want me to set this up here?
I'm just going to guess this one.
I'm Marvin Caldwell. I'm running for Commissioner District 1. I'm number 3.
We deduced that, Mr. Caldwell. That's good, though. Thank you.
All right. And so we'll start off with Katie. And
Yep.
we're
ready.
First question.
Mr. Caldwell, your first name again, please.
Marvin.
Marvin? Good.
Marvin.
All right. Now, all 4 of these candidates would tell you that District 1 is number 1 for a reason. There are several other districts that would disagree. But let's listen to the question. Are you ready? And Ms. Huffaker, you're starting. Jefferson County has a growing tourist industry that contributes to the local economy in the form of sales tax, tourism tax, and local jobs. How can we leverage tourism to offset the need for property tax increases in the future? Understand? Need to read
Can you
again?
repeat it one more time, please?
Sure. All 4 of you, listen closely. Jefferson County has a growing tourist industry that contributes to the local economy in the form of sales tax, tourism tax, and local jobs. How can we leverage tourism to offset the need for property tax increases in the future? You get 2 minutes each. Ms. Huffaker.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the hotel motel tax, which comes from tourism when people stay in our hotels. And here's a thought that's outside the box maybe, but I've brought it up a few years ago. So your hotel motel tax goes into account. It can only be used for 2 things, tourism or economic development. A few years ago, we set aside about $1 million in an account. There's, I think, $875,000 sitting in that account now. That's one account that generated from the hotel motel tax dollars. Another account, we have a larger dollar amount in. I think it's $1.6 million. So I would like to see where we took about $2 million total and invested it in economic development. Here's an idea, an agri-commerce park where you have a large market at the front. You have an ag event center venue, which can be used for agriculture. You put USDA processing facilities in it. And in the back, you put businesses that are related to agriculture. That way, you're diversifying the tax base, you're bringing in tax dollars, but you're also helping our farmers, because if we don't help our farmers, we're not going to have any farmland left anymore. And so I'd really like to see that we do something that generates tax dollars. In the event center, you can have event venues other than ag-related, but we're focusing on economic benefits to our farmers and the community, and that's what I would recommend.
Thank you, Ms. Huffaker. Ms. Leisure, do you need me to read it again? You got it.
I think I have it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I was considering that as she was speaking. It's one thing to say that we want to promote tourism to our area, but it's another thing when we actually have to put the proper zoning ordinances in place to complement the need for tourism. And unless we have that plan as well as the infrastructure in place, that tourism dollar will not occur. The other thing is the importance of diversity. It's just not tourism that we need in our community, but it's also other sources of revenue streams. As you can look at other areas during the COVID shutdown, areas that completely relied on tourism were destroyed. So it's our job to make sure that we market our community appropriately, that we go after the type of tourism that will benefit not just our coffers, but also complements the people that already live here. So my focus will be to make sure our zoning ordinances are up to date, that will complement the type of tourism that we want to come to our community.
Thank you. Mr. Caldwell, you understand the question? You ready to answer?
I am.
Go right ahead.
Well, you know, we're talking about tax dollars, but in order to have the tax dollars, we have to have places for the people to spend their money for the tax dollars. And as far as the tourist industry go, where do the people that stay here in Dandridge go to eat? They go to the next town over. Where do the people that stay here in Dandridge want to go shopping? They go to the next town over. I'm not a real big fan of the retail sales, but we are a tourist town to an extent. But to complement that, we also need to bring in industry. We need to bring in enough industry and of the type of industry where our locals can make a living here that also helps support what we have in this area, which is very brilliant people. We have 417 that is a hub of the interstate system right here that can support what we need to support. And with that comes all the other retail, the other grocery stores, everything else that can support the people that come and go, the ebb and tide flow of the tourists that we have coming.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. Ms. Jones?
I kind of agree with Katie and Marvin on all the aspects. I think an event center is very good to bring in, but I don't think it necessarily needs to be for just agricultural things. It could be a diversified event center to bring people in. And then Marvin spoke on bringing in different restaurants and things like that to offset the sales tax. I agree fully with both of them on that side of things to offset that. But other than just tourism, look how many people drive by on the interstate every day, and we only have fast food options here in Jefferson County, typically off the interstates. Bring in the other restaurants, like he was saying. Bring in different things downtown even that people would want to detour through and stop at. That again would bring them into these shops downtown and help with that tourism and the sales tax and all of that stuff.
Good, thank you. Now, let's get the next question. This is not economics, but this is sociology 101. Would you be in favor of a no cell phone policy for county commissioners during voting meetings? Do I need to read that again? I doubt I do. So, let's see. Ms. Huffaker, you get to start.
Absolutely. It's very distracting when you're sitting by a person and the person's getting texts over and over again. And when people are responding, I don't know who to, if it's people in the crowd, if it's people watching online, if they're doing business at the table, and it needs to end. It's not fair to the citizens. People who are doing that are not focused, and I can't tell you how much it bothers me. Only one time did I look at my phone that I recall, and it was when Terry Dockery texted me in our meeting. Well, it was a break, but it's a shame that people do that in our meetings. It's disrespectful to the citizens, and it's disrespectful to the other commissioners, and absolutely the cell phones need to go away.
Thank you, Ms. Huffaker, and now Ms. Legion.
I agree completely. However, I do have my cell phone with me at the moment because I'm expecting a new grandson any minute. But that said, Katie's right. It can be a true distraction, and it's important for the public to know the decision-making process that's occurring up here. And if you have commissioners possibly texting each other back and forth, it deprives the community the information that's being shared. And that's one of the things that we have to strive to do, is to be as open and as transparent as possible, and so that people don't just assume that something is happening that they're not aware of. So we can just get rid of the phones, and you take that element out of it, and I think things would be much easier and better for all of us. I agree, it is just too distracting.
Thank you, Ms. Legion. Mr. Caldwell.
Thank you. I fully agree with the policy not having cell phones. It's disrespectful to you, and we work for you. That's the bottom line. Cell phones, sure, before, after, turn them off during. If it's something that important, I'm for sure there's going to be somebody here that you know to get to you to let you know. So it's very simple for me. No cell phones.
Thank you. Ms. Jones.
I agree with everybody else. Yes, it's very disrespectful to have your phone out when you're in a meeting, trying to get work done, agendas done, budgeting done, all of that stuff. Use it, like he said, before, after, on a break. You don't need them during your meeting. You come there for the meeting, so.
Good. All righty. Unanimity. That's a nice thing, isn't it? Okay, here we go. And this is number 3. So this is your last chance here to give us what uniquely qualifies you as a candidate to be a county commissioner. What uniquely qualifies you as a candidate. And we'll start with Ms. Huffaker.
Okay, well, I'll just give you a little bit of my history, I guess. So I'm a multi-generational Jefferson Countyan. I went through the Jefferson County High School system. So did my husband and our children. I went to UT, I got a biology degree, and then I went to work professionally for about 15 years, and I worked for entities that support the Department of Energy, Oak Ridge operations. During that time, I learned problem-solving skills and leadership qualities. I worked in an analytical lab, so I enjoy puzzles and I enjoy trying to fix problems. As far as the community, I spend a lot of my time volunteering and for community service. I'm a founding board member of 100+ Women Who Care Jefferson County. That organization has existed for 2 years, and we've raised over $120,000 to support nonprofits that are right here in Jefferson County. Why especially is that important to me too? When I first started on county commission, we gave money to several nonprofits, and we cut all that money out for the most part, except for the fire departments. And so it's especially important to support our nonprofits in the community. As far as health in the community, I'm on the Tenova Jefferson Memorial Hospital Board of Directors. I'm the chairman for that board. As far as schools, I've been a volunteer at Dandridge Elementary since 2009. I volunteered there for 17 years, and 1 year I got the School Bell Recipient Award, and that was for my volunteer work. On the County Commission, I'm presently on Finance, Facilities, Public Records, Public Service, and Budget Committees. I think those are the most important committees we have, and that's why I like to be on them, and I request to be on them. I'm also on the working group for zoning, and I was on the long-range planning, which did the community input survey.
Thank you, Ms. Huffaker. Ms. Legion.
Like I said earlier, my name is Jan Legia, weird last name, understand. I was actually born and raised in Upper East Tennessee, and the values I grew up with, hard work, fairness, and respect for my neighbors, has stayed with me through my whole life. I take the volunteer spirit from Tennessee very seriously. Because of my husband's job, 28 years in the Air Force, both active duty and reserve, as well as his job as a pilot for American Airlines, we have lived all over the country. And because of that, I was raised, you always make your community better, no matter where you are. And I have tried to do that. I have over 30 years of experience in public policy and organizational strategic planning, as well as implementation. That work has taught me how to solve problems, bring people together, and turn ideas into real practical results. It's not always pretty, and it's not glamorous, but it's the work that needs to be done so that we can achieve what we need to be doing. Any position like this is very important, and you're always going to make people mad. Just know that with my experience as well, currently, I'm getting a little confused, my experience has brought me to a point where I want to see Jefferson County succeed. I want to see families be able to prosper here and to be able to stay in their community. They shouldn't have to leave the community to go to work, for their kids to have to leave. I want them to be successful here, and I am committed to do that. I believe my past experiences are there to be able to do that. The other thing that I think makes me uniquely qualified is I've seen the good and the bad and the ugly of what development can do. I want to make sure we bring the best to Jefferson County and not just accept what is presented to us.
Thank you, Ms. Legion. Mr. Caldwell.
First of all, thank you for this opportunity. It's been a great opportunity, but what makes me uniquely qualified? Nothing in particular. I'm one of you. I put my boots on one foot at a time. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I'm here for you. I want to see a better Jefferson County. I want to see industry come to where our children, again, as she said, does not have to leave the county for a decent paying job. I want to be able to see my child be able to afford a home here in Jefferson County where he was born and raised and stay in Jefferson County and then contribute to Jefferson County. And maybe he'll be here running for one of the board members as well as me later on. And that's a goal I have for Jefferson County, not for me, but for everybody that votes for me and for everybody in the county. And that's what I hope to accomplish here, is to make the decisions that are long-standing, that we keep our small town vibe, but we allow it to grow in a way that's responsible by setting the infrastructure, by getting the proper job qualities to come through, setting up for our visitors that come, and be able to look at the overall picture and go, will this work? That's what I hope to accomplish. And with that outlook, I feel that that is what makes me uniquely for this job.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. And Ms. Jones.
I don't have a long, lengthy list of experiences. I'm young. I'm a mom. I'm a multi-business owner here in Dandridge. I've lived here my whole life. I own my house. I pay property taxes. But I want, like Marvin said, I want my kids to be able to afford to live here. I am a multi-generation family from Dandridge, and I want them to be able to afford to live here if that's what they choose to do when they grow up. I want to bring infrastructure in, things like that, and listen to you all and discuss things with you all. Ask questions on what's going in, and just use common sense when it comes to decision-making. So, thank you.
Thank you, candidates. Now, we get 90 seconds each to summarize, is that correct? All right, you're summarizing already well, but let's give you 90 seconds more. And Ms. Huffaker, you get to start with your final appeal to the voters.
Okay, first I'd like to thank the Post for the debate and Dr. McGraw for moderating and all of you for being here and for those watching online. Again, my name is Katie Fox Huffaker. I'm seeking re-election for District 1 County Commission. I would appreciate your vote and support. I want to say one thing that wasn't brought out because I think it's very important. A lot of times people focus on the negative, but our county's in the best financial shape as far as debt that it's been in years. When I first got on commission, we were about $100 million in debt, and now we're around $30 million if you exclude the nursing home, which is self-sustaining and it pays for itself. And this has allowed us the ability to pay cash for several things that we've been doing recently and in the future. So I just want you to know how great our county is and what it's done. I just want you to know I'm rooted and grounded in Jefferson County in faith and in family. I live in the house my mother was born in, and she's 84 years old, and I live on the family farm. I've been blessed to be able to raise my kids in Jefferson County, and I want Jefferson County to be as successful and the best it can be. I think it's the greatest place on earth to live, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Huffaker. Now, Ms. Leach.
I want to help this area grow in a way that protects what makes this place special, while also preparing for the future. When we moved back to Tennessee, we identified we wanted to come back to the Dandridge, Jefferson County area 20 years ago. And trust me, when he retired, we were here. Unfortunately, we were trying to build a house during COVID. But that said, our future can be very bright, but we need a financial strategic plan for the next 5 to 10 years to 20 years. And that needs to align with what our zoning ordinance are, as well as the type of infrastructure that we're going to need. As a county commissioner, I hope the county will lead the way with working with the cities in our county and the utility districts so that we can upgrade and update the existing infrastructure we have, our roads, our sewer systems, our water systems, etc. And then we also need to be going actively after federal grants together so that we can try to get cost-efficient ways to put new infrastructure in to accommodate the types of development that everybody's been talking about up here. There are several steps that we need to take before we can get to the good stuff. And I'm the person with that type of experience. I ask for your vote, and thank you for hearing from me today.
Thank you, Ms. Legia. Now, Mr. Caldwell.
Again, I thank you. A little bit of my background, I was born and raised in Newport. Graduated from Cobb County High, moved here in Jefferson County in '91, where I've been for the rest of the time. Been working at multiple places, blue-collar jobs, maintenance, worked at Molly for a long time. Right now I'm over here at Overman, so my job is dependent upon Dandridge. I spend my money here, I work here, and I'm maintenance there. That's one thing that we need to concentrate on. You guys aren't the ATM for the county commission to come and say, hey, I need more money. Here's a wheel tax. Here's increase in property tax. Here's this tax. Here's that tax. We've got to look at other ways to generate and be creative on those ways so that it just don't last for 1 year, that it lasts for 10 years, so that we can take some of the burden from our citizens and help make this a more affordable place. So please remember me and vote for me. I'm Marvin Caldwell, running for Commissioner District 1.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. Now, Ms. Jones.
I'm Aubrey Jones. Again, I'm running for County Commission District 1. I'd like to thank Dr. McGraw for moderating today and the Jefferson County Post for hosting. Like I said, I'm a lifelong resident of the Dandridge area. I went to Dandridge Elementary, Maury Middle School, Jefferson County High School. I love living here. I love raising my kids here. I love having my businesses here. And I want to see my kids have the same opportunity to stay here like I was able to have. And, you know, for that dream to become a reality, we've got to focus on balancing the budget, bringing in new revenue sources, and like he said, taking that burden off of you all as the property owners. We need to have some responsible growth. And like I said, I'm willing to discuss and listen to you all as the people, ask questions, while using the common sense approach. And I appreciate all of you coming out here today. And then I ask for you of those in District 1 for your vote, and thank you.
Wow, let's give these 4 excellent candidates a round of applause. Thank you. All right. I hope somebody from the other districts is going to stay, Mr. Depew. What do you think?
I'll say, District 2, if you could come up, please.
Hey, Jenny, I'm going to talk to you later about your husband, because I had 28 years Air Force too, but anyway. Huh? Might have, I don't know.
Okay, I gotta ask. I've been
District 2, anybody else from? What we'll do is, you know the drill by now. We'll get you to reach in and pull a number, and we just have 2 for district? I mean, we just have 2 for 2, okay. Shake them up on you. If you would, just when you pull your number,
So whatever you're thinking.
turn your microphone on, just state your name, and we'll go from there. Oops, sorry.
My name's Chris Mash, running for County Commission District 2.
That one you want to
I'd like to have everybody vote.
I need to hear better.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Chris Mash, running for County Commission District 2. Just like to get everybody's vote, support. I'm not a politician by no means, but, and I'm number 3.
All right, and
Chris, what's your last name, please?
Mash.
M-A-S-H.
M-A-I-S-H.
M-A-I-S-H. Thank you.
My name is Rick Moore, and drew number 1.
all right. So, Mr. Moore, you will go first. Dr. McGraw?
Rick Moore, is that correct, Rick?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, good. All right. Let's see. And this is District 2, am I right, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure. All right, because voters want to know. Okay, let's see. Mr. Moore, you first? Who's first? Mr. Moore, good, thank you. What is your plan to address growth, zoning, and land use concerns specific to your district? Mr. Moore.
An individual's property is their own, and having the mindset of collectivism, I'm just going to call it socialism. We're in a Republican primary in the state of Tennessee. I don't believe in coercive government means to tell the individual what you can and cannot do with your own property. And so I'm 39, I'll be 40 this summer. Early in my life, we had a lot of not in my backyard mentality, and we have dropped the ball on that. Opportunities come around, we need to be able to take advantage of them. And so in regard to zoning, we do have existing zoning in place, but to add additional restrictions and constraints, that's increasing government. I'm not for that at all.
All righty, Mr. Moore, Mr. Mash, same question.
I'm kind of on the same table with Mr. Moore. I'm for property rights. We're slowly losing them. I mean, I know we need zoning, but we need common sense zoning, especially for the folks that's been here a long time. I just think that we're getting too much government involved, and I just don't agree with it. You know, our farmers are losing a lot of their leverage, and this needs to stop.
Jeff, question. Are these the only two gentlemen? Okay. Running for District 2.
Well, there's 4 running.
There's 4 running. These 2 have shown up. Good for you. 5 running. Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for showing up. Here's your second question. What can be done to ensure that young Jefferson Countyans can afford to live and raise their families here in Jefferson County? Need to read it again? You got it.
Got it, thank you. All right, again, I'm 39, I'll be 40. I've always, since I've graduated from UT, I've always had an office in Knoxville. And the reason for that, that's where the opportunity is. Graduating class would have been 04, yes, 08, 09 were very impactful in our early careers, but the majority of my peers that I grew up with are no longer here. It's because the opportunity doesn't exist to to live life and have your chance to dance. And so if you want to ensure the next generation or next 2, there has to be a reason for them to be able to live their life to the best that it can be. And I've made an announcement public on this. We spend approximately $200,000 per student in the school system. Why are we training someone else's workforce? Keep it home. And do I have a grand plan for industry, et cetera, to come in here? No, and the reason for that is I don't have the money to do it. But opportunities will come around, and we cannot have the continued mindset of saying, no, not in my backyard. We're growing. Tennessee's a better place to live than other places in the country. And so if we don't want to hollow ourselves out and lose that Appalachian feel because the culture, the people who are born into it are gone, you got to have a reason for folks to stay around. And when we have opportunities come around, evaluate them, do a cost-benefit analysis. It's a good deal for us, good deal for whatever's coming in, proceed to party. That's how you do it.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Mash.
Well, I like to see some stuff get into the industrial parks. Our industrial parks are getting empty. We need residents to work and live in this county. They shouldn't have to go to Sevier County, Hamlin County to work and support their families. We need it here. And I think it's what needs to be done. I don't know the exact steps to go in that direction, other than we're going to get some industry in here, some more businesses. A lot of people don't want that here. But that's what our industrial parks are for. The one we got over here in Danridge is sitting almost empty right now. I mean, back in '88, I worked over there. My wife worked over there. That park's almost non-existent now. That's what the industrial park's for. That's where we need this stuff. We need jobs here for our kids to go to, the school systems. Why don't they put shop back out in schools? Teach heat and air, teach automotive. You don't have to go to college to succeed. I mean, it's not a necessity to do. It's great if you can. A lot of people can't afford that.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question. This is the last one. How will you, as a county commissioner, evaluate school funding requests and capital needs, such as new buildings or renovations? Let me read it again. How will you, as a potential county commissioner, evaluate school funding requests and capital needs such as new buildings and renovations? Mr. Moore.
So you got a division or a separation of powers, and so coming from school system, school board. And when they come forward with a request, go through and be prepared and look through it. One of the things I would want to look at is there more than one bid on a project? Number two, oftentimes we have done different things as far as, and this is going to county-wide, we have done things where we destroy something that's already functional in place and build something else there. That is not logical. It's wasteful. So I guess the premise would be, if it is necessary and a worthwhile thing, okay, we'll figure out how to make it happen. If it is just redundant and wasteful, say no.
Okay, Mr. Moore, Mr. Nash.
Kind of like Mr. Moore was saying, you know, we got a lot of wasteful spending that I see. I've been coming to the county commission meetings, BZA meetings, planning meetings for the last couple of years or so. I feel there's a lot of wasted money. I see it in the school system. There's some stuff they're doing I don't agree with. Then there's other stuff they're doing I think they're doing a good job on. You know, as a commissioner, you know, I would be voting for what I thought was the right way to spend money with common sense, you know, and stop this wasteful spending. You know, that's the part that's got to get under control. We got to get, you know, common sense back into the game. As a small business owner, I've got to make decisions every day. That's what needs to be done. We need to run it as a business, you know, instead of the way it's been run right now. There's things that, there's some numbers that I don't agree with that's been thrown out. Like Mr. Moore said, we need more people bidding on these jobs. A lot of these county jobs that are getting bidded out are getting way over budget. If you put a bid in, that's what you should stick by as a builder. You know, if you underbidded it, that should be on you, not on our county taxpayers' backs. You know, if I bid a job out and I underbid myself, I'm the one that has to eat that. That is something that I just can't go to the customer and say, hey, I didn't do my job correctly, or I didn't figure this correctly. That's the kind of spending waste we need to stop.
Thank you. That's good answers. Now, you get a chance at 90 seconds to tell the voters why they need to vote for you. Speak into the microphones very well so everyone can hear you.
I'll take that as my cue. I didn't do that correctly to begin with, sorry. So, my family's been here since before statehood. That means we've had some staying power. And I've got a son who is B3 at the end of May, got a 5-month-old daughter. I would like to see them have the opportunity, if they so choose, to be here. That's why I'm getting involved. Second reason for getting involved, had a dear friend who served up on the commission here, and he is no longer with us, and I saw quite blatantly the absence that his passing left. And so I knew what he did for it. I also knew how much he disliked it. But he served because he cared and he loved others. And so in the same token, it's time for me to step up and do what I can. And you know, we're all citizens here. My mindset would be a rising tide lifts all boats. And when opportunity comes, I'll be in position to let the county take advantage of it and not do the not in my backyard mentality that has been prevalent the majority of my life. So with that, I thank the Post, Dr. McGraw, for hosting. And for District 2, I need your vote. I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Moore and Mr. Mash.
I'd like to thank everybody tonight for setting this up. You know, just a brief history. Living in Jefferson County for over 50 years. I've lived in the Piedmont community for almost 38 years. The reason I decided to run was I don't like the way some things are going, and I want a place for my grandkid to live on what's left of the family farm. You know, I'm not a politician, and I'm not getting up here, you know, running on that. I'm a businessman. You know, I just think things need to be done a little different way we have been doing them lately. And I appreciate it, you know, everybody's voting District 2. Thank you.
Let's give these two guys a round of applause. Good answer, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, Jeff, we're moving right along.
And we're in District 3. Whichever one's, when you hit the button, it'll turn green. That means your mic's on.
Okay.
And if you will just kind of keep it close to you.
Oh, gotcha.
There you go. Oh, good. And I'm gonna get you to draw. And we'll just keep going to the right-hand side. So we're gonna keep that up.
All right.
And let you draw, and if you would, just tell everybody your name and the number you drew.
I'm Nick Leckie, number 3.
No, this one.
Nick, say your last name one more time, please.
Leckie, Leckie.
Thank you.
Before we all live here. All right. And you drew 3.
I'm Chris Perryman, and I'm Drew 2.
Okay, so Chris, you start
All right.
first. Chris Perryman and Nick Lakey. Did I say your names correctly? Leckie?
Leckie, yes.
Leckie.
Leckie, yep.
You're from Tennessee, aren't you?
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Perryman, yours is the first answer to question, how will you evaluate and vote on this is similar, okay? How will you evaluate and vote on capital projects such as schools and county facilities with our limited financial resources? Let me read it again.
I'm good.
You okay, Mr. Lakey? You okay? So how will you evaluate and vote on capital projects? Okay?
I would first start going through and working through the plan of meeting with the contractors, going over what the cost is going to be from multiple different contractors, so we're not just stuck with one and have multiple change orders through the time. That leads to overspending for the taxpayers. I would also look into to grants. Might as well reach out and see and get all the money we can get from the state level or the federal level to help with the bigger projects. And that's what I do about that.
Thank you, sir. Now, Mr. Lakey.
I would do the same, meet with different, people requesting, school board, our departments, whoever was requesting the projects, go over it with them, pursue, research grants, research, the cost of stuff. But I would also take in your input too. This government's set up for the people and by the people, so I would take in your input as well and all those things. More importantly, your input. But yeah, I would analyze and research. I like doing research, all those things.
Okay, next question. What is your plan to address growth, zoning, and land use concerns specific to your district? Number 3. What is your plan to address growth, zoning, and land use concerns specific to your district?
I think we've got a reasonable amount of zoning already in place for our county. I don't think we need a whole lot more. I like the limited government approach to tell me what I can't do with my land. I do think we can diversify our budget with some different industry and retail space. We really need to quit putting the whole budget and burden on the taxpayers here. I am a taxpayer. Of course, everybody's went up 2-3 times. But we've got to have an open mind. We've got to have some sort of controlled growth because our population is growing no matter what. We're going to have the people here. And that goes back to other grants and stuff also. We need to have some more money, especially in White Pine in District 3. Our municipalities are under budget for sure. I would like to try to help them on a county level and give our highway departments some more money to help pave some more roads in the White Pine area because they're struggling. That's what I would like to do, get some diversified industry in here, control growth, so we're not put in a position to where we have to try to make a big move all at one time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Leckie, same question.
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. Now, this is specific to your particular District 3. What is your plan to address growth, zoning, and land use concerns for your district?
So I think pretty much in that question, it goes back, my plan would just to be, I'm one to just go out and ask for stuff. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I agree. I think we need responsible growth, but I think we need to, preserve our area too. Mostly I would go to you citizens and check and see what you would like. What would you like to see in White Pine? That's what I would be representing, and that's just what I believe in, that the people speak to your representative and your representative makes the decision from there.
Okay. And our last question is, how will you ensure transparency in commission decision-making and communications with residents? I'll read it again for you. How will you ensure transparency in commission decision-making and communication with residents?
I believe it's very important. I think it's very important that if you're in our district, District 3 in the White Pine area, all the way down to Zirkle Road, that we're available. I think we'll have email on there. You can email us, call us. My cell phone number will be on there. I definitely want to hear where the concerns are of the people of our district and listen to their ideas. Like Nick was saying, I don't know everything. We need to have that transparency. I agree with maybe the county commission moving forward with some work sessions. I'm not 100% familiar with what their operation is yet, but I think that gives us a second to break down what they're going to be voting on, what they're going to be talking about. That gives more transparency, I would feel, to the public that want to have an opinion on whatever we're voting on for the county.
Thank you, Mr. Leckie.
Again, I agree. I would just be transparent with the citizens. If you got a question, call me and ask me. I'll make my number available. Email, knock on the door, call me. If you want me to drive to your place, I'll drive out there. And I agree. I'm not totally aware of how the commission works. I know everything's public record, but I do think that we do need county commission, and the county in general would do better if we did make stuff more transparent instead of getting everyone all in here riled up mad. We need to talk to our constituents and tell them what's going on. But again, I'll be available 24/7.
All righty, now you're going to get 90 seconds each for a summary to ask your voters from District 3 to vote for you. Mr. Pugh, how many people are running in District 3? 5. So 2 came out, you showed your interest, so let's listen to them as they give you the reason why you in District 3 should vote for them. So, Mr. Perryman, you start.
Thank you. I'd like to start off. I'm Chris Perryman. I'm running for District 3. I've lived in Jefferson County my whole life. I've got 2 little girls, one 3 months old and one 4 years old. I'm very, very busy. I'm a business owner and have been my whole life. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm very, very business mindset. I like the way numbers work. I'm very financially capable of reading over things and making sure I'm making the best decision for the county financially. I think that's very important, and I want to see the county do well. And if we don't have some sort of growth, industry stuff, retail stuff, if we don't start having some of that stuff in place now, like I said, the population's increasing regardless if we want it to or not. The housing's coming, the people are here. We have to do something now, controlled, and make it sustainable for everybody in the county and make it affordable. I'm tired of all of us taxpayers being the burden on the county. It's tough. But I do want to ask for your vote and your support in District 3. And thank you, Mr. McGraw. And thank you, Jefferson County Post, for hosting this. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Pearman and Mr. Leckie.
Again, thank you, Post, and thank you everyone coming out tonight. My name is Nick Leckie. Yes, third generation. My mom's family was from Jefferson County. My dad's family come here in 73, officially 74, I got moved in. So multi-generational, raised on the farm, helped my grandpa on the dairy farm. I have 2 little girls, a loving wife, and I love White Pine. I love Jefferson County. You know, myself, Chris, many people running are my young 30s, early, and we could go anywhere. We still could go anywhere. Could have gone anywhere, but chose to be here, make this our home. I love the rural feel of it. I love the rural community. I agree we need to, like he said, if it's coming, people are coming in. So the times change. We need to learn how to adapt and be responsible with that. And like I just said, I just love this place and asking for your vote May 5th.
Thank you. Round of applause for these 2 gentlemen. District 4, Jeff, we were moving through.
District 4, and I think it is it uncontested?
Yes, we have one person here.
Okay.
Well, let's introduce him. Right?
Would District 4 come up?
And so there's 2 people running.
Yes, but one is a
So he doesn't
teacher and he had an obligation.
Had an obligation. Thank you for being here. Go ahead.
You got a minute and a half to do your intro, and it's all yours. Yeah, just hit your button there. You may have to lift that, or if you want to use this, you can. And just hit your button on it too. Just don't get them close together if it's all green.
Good evening, my fellow Jefferson County citizens. My name is Jim Lance. I'm a 27-year veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces. I spent 14 years of those 27 conducting strategic planning. Jefferson County's population is growing by an amazing 13% in the last 6 years. Left unchecked, this population growth will eventually break our county's infrastructure. Our county needs a 5-year strategic plan, period, dot. I want to do the hard work as part of a team to help develop that plan. Tonight, I'm respectfully requesting your vote to help preserve the best of Jefferson County while taking advantage of future opportunities. I'd like to thank the moderator and host for this forum. I'd like to thank my fellow citizens for coming out tonight.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Lance. Appreciate it. Let's give him a round of applause.
Okay, moving right along, we're at District 5. District 5 come up. I think you're my only one, right?
No, there's 2.
Is there 2? Okay. All right, I need my number.
How many are running, Chrissy?
4 are running.
4.
Okay. 4 are running for 2 slots, and we have the 2 gentlemen here. Good.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna hit your button. I don't know, if that one's lower, we can always mix it around. What I want you to do is just draw a number, we'll determine the order, and then just tell the audience your name and what district, and the number on your card.
25, does that work?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. It's 4.
I didn't write it, could be.
2.
Okay, 4 is yours?
Yes, sir.
And 2?
2, Doug Sayers.
And I'm Jeff Underwood from this.
All right, let me get that one more time. Doug, stay.
Sayers, Sayers.
Got it?
Jeff Underwood.
Jeff Underwood. Okay.
All right.
District 5, and our first question is, This has been answered before by other commissioners, and boy, it was so unanimous. Let's see if we can break some unanimity. Would you be in favor of a no cell phone policy for county commissioners during voting meetings? And we'll start with you, Mr. Sayers.
Yes, I think the importance of having a civil meeting and an efficient meeting is very important. I've said in many of these meetings, and they get kind of long, and any distractions from a commissioner that will need to end in order to help the parliamentarian and help the chair. So I'd be supporting that.
And Mr. Underwood.
Of course, I agree that there should not have cell phones available. To me, it's showing disrespect to the position that we actually are here for the people, and we need to be attentive. And when you're playing around on your cell phone or communicating, like some of the earlier commissioners said, it makes you wonder what they're really teaming up to do. And it's pretty easy for me to say absolutely not to allow cell phones.
Good. Second question, moving right along. What can be done to ensure that young Jefferson Countyans can afford to live and raise their families in Jefferson County? Need to read it again? You got it?
I got it.
Good.
So it's important to have an environment that's affordable. So one of the things I think that's very important is to have jobs. A lot of times when you have a job, you're either going to go to Knoxville or Sevierville. You're going to go a whole county away. You need to make another $10,000 to basically afford that, to leave your home to go out to Knoxville. One of my plans is to, and I'm a measurer of what I do, I would like to see us bring a manufacturing job to Jefferson County every 3 years. I measured that at being like 100 people. We need to have a job. We have tons of interstates around here. You could be in New York in 12 hours, be in Texas in 12 hours. You heard one of the candidates talk about the usage of the interstates. I'm all about the planning to make this happen. You've heard many people about how critical it is to have a strategic plan. This will not happen unless this county slows down and makes a strategic plan now. People have been coming, and they're coming more. So we need to take a little pause and properly plan, and that's what I'll be looking to do.
Thank you, Mr. Sayers. Mr. Underwood, same question.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Again, what can be done to ensure that young Jefferson Countyans can afford to live and raise their families here in Jefferson County?
I think it's important that we do bring in jobs, and just since I got 2 minutes or whatever, my experience, I've worked in manufacturing for 47 years, and I've also been a farmer in this county ever since I could walk. But what I recognize, my current job is I go to a lot of I work corporate now for the last 5 years. I go to a lot of our companies throughout North America, and I evaluate with the plant managers their efficiencies, their cost, and help try to reduce that, make them more profitable. I've been to Arkansas, I've been to Ohio, I'm currently going to Mexico, once the cartel gets straightened out. But anyway, I've got a lot of experience, and I feel we can't bring in a big company. There's tier 1 companies, there's tier 2 companies. And in the tier 2 company, they support tier 1 companies. They take less footage, ground space, but usually our tier 1 companies or a lot of these big plants. I work for Molly. Like I said, I've been there for 47 years. Some of the people in here I've worked with, but it's very important that we establish what kind of companies that will work out with our footprint. Not all companies will work out with us compared to Morristown or Knoxville. That's very important. And then also, we can't just bring in companies without good infrastructure. We need to identify the areas that we want to develop, but we have got to look at our infrastructure. And based on that, you cannot bring a company in and then develop infrastructure.
You have to develop infrastructure and then bring the company in.
Thank you, Mr. Underwood.
Thank you.
Okay, is this the last question? Here we go. What steps should the county take to strengthen workforce development and job readiness? Let me read it again. What steps should the county take to strengthen workforce development and job readiness?
So I'm going to start the lower tier of an adult. That's going to start at your high school level. So we know we have one high school. They call it the CTE program. So the county commissioners need to make sure that we're supporting the school board. I would expect the school board to have that plan. I can't make the school board's plan as commissioner, but that's what I would be funding for those members that are 16 to 18 deciding their career. We may need to add a skill set that's not out there. We may need to grow like electricians, automotive more, welding more. We do that, it may need to be more robust at that level. When we get to somebody that's like, one of the things that I see my children have done, I have four children, they have done the dual enrollment at Walter State. That's been a blessing. That needs to be strengthened. That needs to allow you to take your credits to ETSU, zero cost in-state, and that helps that young adult go there and then come back here. If you didn't know, UT down there, my son went down 18,000, East Tennessee State University, 10,800. That's $8,000 difference. Not everybody's going to afford UT. And then we have the path to go to Walter State. We need to assure all those paths remain available. Now, when we get to somebody that's like 30, 40, basically kind of rebuilding themselves, that's when we're going to rely on the Tennessee Jobs Program, the state programs. We need to make sure resources are in place and they know where to go to get those resources. That is something that's already paid for by your tax dollars. We just need to make sure people know about that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sayers. Mr. Underwood.
Again, can you read the question, please?
Certainly. It's kind of a twofold question. What steps should the county take to strengthen work and job readiness?
It's ironic because, like I said, my current job is I go to companies all over North America. And I see it, whether I'm in Iowa, Mexico, is job readiness is an issue. Kids that are brought in today in manufacturing, and this is what I'm tabling, is manufacturing, they are unprepared. There's multiple types of jobs out there in manufacturing, such as CNC, programming of robots, welding, maintenance, machine build. Every company that I've went to are starving for those kind of people. That's what, just less than 2 weeks ago, my daughter is actually assistant principal at Jefferson County High School. I get it firsthand. She takes her job serious, but I walked through the school. She took me through where the welding and machine shop and all that is, because I've always been concerned. There's two types of kids that go through that high school. I graduated the first 2 years there. There's one that's going to go to college. There's another group that's not going to go to college, but they need trades to hit the ground running. They need to have confidence that when they get out of high school, they know what they want to do, because that don't only help them, that keeps kids off the streets. And I went through and I was very impressed. I seen a welding facility. I seen auto body. I did see woodwork, and I did see the nurse area and the hair, which I don't really have to worry about that, but the hair, where they do the hair, you know. But anyway, I seen all that, but I seen three things missing. And one was robotic training, two was CNC programming, really four, and that was plumbing and electrical. I think that the commissioners need to work with the school board and get that implemented, just so our kids have multiple directions to go when they leave. And that's I guess.
Mr. Sayers, you get to start by telling the voters of District 5 why they should elect you. 90 seconds.
Okay, I kind of do an introduction a little bit, back myself up. I didn't grow up here. I did the military path. I grew up in the deeper South in Louisiana, but I got in the military at 17. My parents signed it. I got out at 44, and I'm in my low 50s now. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's in business degree. I've been a prior HOA president, a prior secretary, prior parliamentarian. I've been a DOD strategic planner. I've led teams. I've done crisis management. I've done process improvement. I've done program management. I've been a government contracting officer. I'm currently a director of quality for an aerospace and nuclear company down in Knoxville. So I have a very diverse background. I've been to all the states. I've been to 2/3 of the countries in the world. What I have in my mind, I see best practices, and that's what I'm looking to implement here. I'm not looking to recreate the wheel. I'm looking to be efficient. And I think as we grow, we need to make sure our county budget and your dollars are used properly. And we need to find some efficiencies is what I want to do. When I say how much, when I tell my voters that I'm asking for the vote, I'm looking for 2% efficiency out of the budget. And I want it put back to county infrastructure. County infrastructure is roads. If we don't build the roads and build down this comprehensive plan, we're going to be reacting. And I want to be a little bit more proactive going forward. And I would appreciate your vote. And I also want to thank, one thing that gets me is it's an honor. I had to shut my mouth when I was in the military in order to protect us to do this. And it's an honor to sit in front of you tonight and to be civil. And I want to thank the Post and thank Dr. McGraw. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Underwood, your 90 seconds.
Like I said earlier, I've worked in manufacturing for 47 years. I was born and raised here. My parents were raised here. My grandparents, I remember having walks out on the farm with my grandfather, and I carried his thoughts with me throughout all my life. And my kids, I have 2 kids, actually my daughter is assistant principal at high school. My son is manager at Walmart in Sevierville. He's a veteran. And then my daughter-in-law, she's actually assistant principal at Maury Middle School. I understand how important education is. I see it every day in my life, how important, but also how important that we give each and every kid in our county the opportunity to pick and choose what they want. And again, I default back to the high school. I was very impressed because I am concerned about that group of kids, that we furnish them the opportunity to progress in life just like the kids that go to UT or anywhere else. I've got 4 grandkids. One has been accepted to Tennessee. She's going to college to be a nurse. I've got another grandson that's younger, or 2 grandsons and a granddaughter. I embedded my roots in this county, and I have lived my life here. I've worked here, and I will die here, and so will my wife. She loves this county, my kids, and I just ask for your support and give me an opportunity to, and it would be an honor to serve people here. And I wish we had more time because I know Doug's got a lot of stuff on his mind, and I do too. So anyway.
We appreciate the 2 of you coming and sharing with us, and let's give them a round of applause for being here. Army? We'll talk about it. I'm sorry, I appreciate your time.
District 6.
District 6.
Come front. District 6, will you come to the front? They wanted to.
Ms. Depew, how many are running in District 6?
There are 2. They are unopposed.
Unopposed? Okay. Do we ask them questions or just let them talk?
No, they're going
You get a
to
free.
do a
Yeah. But give us your names.
All right.
We got to do that.
I'm gonna give you that, I'm gonna put that right there because I can't reach it. I'm gonna leave this here if you need it.
This will be fine.
Push green and go with that one.
Good to go. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. My name is Robert Bruner. I'm from the 6th District, Strawberry Plains, in Lower Newmarket. I've heard a lot of good things here tonight, and I would like to say, first of all, I'm very proud of my community. The Lady Plainsmen finished third in the state last week. We're very proud of those kids. And for myself, I'm proud of my community. I've been a lifelong Strawberry Plains resident, and I'm there seeking vote to represent them. And I've heard a lot about manufacturing industry and things like that. I've been in that industry myself for 42 years. I own a machine shop in Strawberry Plains. And I hear a lot about welding, electrical. Anybody know anything about machinists? Very little. A machinist makes everything that has to do with everything you do, from brushing your teeth, which is Team Technology in Moorestown, Colgate. We do business with all those companies. So machinists are very important to our livelihood. And we have a machine shop there that we started 8 years ago. And we've been very successful. And I'm going to state something. I hear a lot of people saying, I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman. And I'm going to tell you something that you're going to find hard to believe. I feel that it's a privilege for me to pay taxes in this county. I wrote Susan Gass a check today. Last week they were there measuring my new building, 10,000 square feet, that I was opposed by county commission. I fought hard to get that passed. So the people that say that they're for industry, you need to go back and look at their voting record and see how they voted. So, like I say, paying taxes can be a privilege. And I say that because I've been successful. And I'm grateful that the good Lord has blessed me to be successful in this community, and I give back. We give to Rush Strong. We've given them 3D printer, and I plan on trying to do that for each elementary school in the county, because I myself don't see that we need to start at high school. We need to be starting at middle school, because that's where these kids are taking direction of whether they're going to be a blue collar or a college graduate. So it's very important to start early. So I know I don't have my bells done ring, but I want everybody to know that here that I'm very involved with CTE at the high school. They don't have a machinist program right there. We have one person here right now in the county that's looking for a CNC programmer that they can't get involved with, or they can't get help for.
Mr. Bruner, I think you're going to get a chance to lecture as a county commissioner, since you're the only one that's running. So let's save that speech for when you're the county commissioner and sitting right there in that chair. Will that be okay? Thank you for coming. Number 7.
Okay, District 7, if you'll come up. How many in 7? One here?
We have 2 that are here.
2 here?
How many running total?
How many running total?
3.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're running here.
You got 2 thirds? How you doing?
Good, are you?
All right, green lights are already on the microphones. I'm gonna start on my right like I've been doing the rest of the time. If you'll grab a number and then just have a seat, go to the microphone and tell everybody your name and the number you drew.
Jason Bales, District 7, number 3.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Aaron Loy, running for re-election for County Commission in the 7th District, and my number is 4.
All right. Dr. McGraw, it's all you.
Jason. I know Aaron. Jason. I got it. Jason, you're number 1. You might have drawn number 3 or whatever, but anyway, you were the top draw. So we will start the question with you. Jason Bales and Aaron Lloyd. Would you support, this is a good question for Jefferson County Commissioner. Would you support a county-wide fire department?
Well, at this point, I support our local fire departments. Really, I know it's kind of redundant, but I would like to hear the voice of the people. So I grew up in Newmarket and very proud of the volunteer fire department that we have there. And I know all fire departments across our county and cities are proud of the work they do. So I'd really just want to know what the vote of the people are. What do they feel? You know, I think that's important. That's why I'm running.
Mr. Lloyd?
Yeah, so obviously, emergency services are essential to the county, fire department especially being included in that. And so I guess I just kind of mirror what Jason said. You know, being from Newmarket, we have a very robust volunteer fire department there, and obviously they get some funding from the county. So again, I would have conversations with them to begin with, see if there's a need for it, and obviously, hopefully keep funding them to the best of our ability.
I'm going to take a privilege here, and I'm going to ask both of you. This is a simple yes or no, really, is what I want. Would you support a countywide referendum on a countywide fire department? Mr. Bales?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, it's a discussion, right? So my background is not just a businessman, but I'm also from here, worked for a large supply chain company. So anytime there's a discussion or something that we need to discuss to understand, do we need, if we're in need of a referendum, then we bring those people together. So if I'm not educated in it, I want to bring the people in the room that are, and I want to hear the voice of the people, and I also want to talk to the people that have better knowledge and can explain things so that we can all discuss it openly.
Okay. Mr. Lloyd?
Yeah, not to contradict Dr. McGraw's request of a yes or no answer, but I think it requires a more nuanced answer than yes or no. You know, we need to have a cost-benefit analysis. Obviously, that would bring benefits to the community, but can we afford it? You know, we see where we are right now in our budget and how tight things are, and obviously that would require tax increases, something that I think all of us want to see be avoided if all possible. So.
Okay, all right. What is your vision for attracting new businesses while supporting existing local employers? I'll read it one more time. What is your vision for attracting new businesses while supporting the existing local employers? And we'll start with Mr. Bales.
Yes, sir. So, again, I had to move away for the position that I had, and I love where I'm from. So I think that's one of the things is what type of businesses can you attract to Jefferson County to keep me here, keep my family here. I have young children that are going through the school system. So I think that's important. I want to give them the opportunity to stay and live here and create, you know, have their families raised here. Attracting the businesses, I think, is part of it is tourism, focusing on that. We're in a very unique area. You constantly hear about everybody, they don't want the busy of Knoxville and they don't want the hassle of the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. So I think it's important that we focus on that because we have a very beautiful area here. We preserve that, how to, you know, working with the farmers and the other people in the community to have that discussion. And then I don't know the answer. How do we attract industry? You know, when I was growing up here, we had more industry than we do now. And that's something that I'd like to work with the other commissioners on and probably county mayor to discuss that. What do we need to do to bring in those type of businesses that would stay here and give our families a chance to work for them?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bales. Mr. Lloyd, you got the question okay?
Could you repeat the question, please?
I can. What is your vision for attracting new businesses while supporting existing local employers?
So I think the answer to both these questions kind of go hand in hand. If we want to support existing local businesses, one of the best things we can do is keep their tax rate as low as possible. If we want to keep the tax rate as low as possible, we need to attract new business to the area to diversify our tax base. And again, that requires a long-term plan. This isn't something that can be implemented in just a year's time or even a 4-year term. But I think it's somewhat of a can that's been kicked down the road for some time now. You know, we, as a county, we're really sending out adverse message to business and industry within this county. You know, as a farmer, nobody appreciates the rural landscape and agriculture more than me. It's not only how I make a living, but I think, you know, it's an economic benefit to the entire county and provides a really beneficial way of life for everybody in the county. But we do have to be more open-minded about bringing appropriate industry to appropriate areas of the county and providing young people and people of all ages for that matter with more opportunity for employment here within the county.
Okay, very good. And the last question is, how will you engage with residents in your district outside of the election season? So after May the 5th, how will you engage with your residents in your district? Mr. Bales.
Yeah, thank you. So always an open book. Anybody that wants to stop by, you're more than welcome to right now. Come by where I live or message me, call me. I'm always open to talk to people. Again, I think it's my background and plus how I was raised, you know, very humble type raising and really appreciated what I had growing up. And I want to communicate that back to the community. And I'm here for the community. I mean, if you can't tell, I'm not a politician and I don't have the political answers, but I will work to get you answers. That's one of the reasons I'm running. You know, I love where I'm from and love my family being here, and I want everybody else to be that same way and not to stress about the things that we talk about and stress about that I've heard. It's concerning, and Aaron says it a lot more eloquently than me, but a lot of the points he makes is that's pretty much where I'm lining up to, you know, and working together with the other commissioners and understanding those things that we need and then getting it back out in front of you all. I think that's part of the thing too that I ran for, was so I didn't quite understand what the result was. I'd read notes and try to decipher what was going on. That's the transparency I want to help and communicate back out to my district and the community.
Mr. Bales, thank you. Mr. Lloyd.
So I really pride myself in being very accessible as I possibly can be to constituents within my district. Previous to serving out this term on county commission, I've been serving on highway commission since 2020. And, you know, really one of the main responsibilities of a highway commissioner is to communicate the concerns of citizens within your district to our highway superintendent so that the issues that they're experiencing can be addressed in a timely and efficient manner. So again, you know, I enjoy talking about issues with people. I, you know, may not know everything, but even an issue that has come across the table during my time on county commission, you know, I do my due diligence to research those issues and become as educated as possible as I can, but still really enjoy reaching out to people within the district and getting their feedback and their experience that may apply to those issues. So again, I hope to continue that even after we get out of the election cycle.
All right, you two gentlemen have already really given us some good answers, but we'll give you the 90 seconds to summarize and talk to your people in District 7 as to why you should be elected to the County Commission. Mr. Bales, we'll start with you.
All right, well, I appreciate the opportunity. Appreciate the host help allowing me to be here and Jefferson County Post. But, you know, I'm Jason Bales. I'm running for the District 7, and I would appreciate your vote. I'm here not as a politician, but I am running to be transparent for my community. I want the people of Newmarket and Jefferson County to feel confident in the decisions we're making and understanding why we make them. And that's really, you know, it's not just for me, it's for my family. You know, we're 5 generations in, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on the hills of East Tennessee for my family. And I don't want my family to move away because they can't find a job and they can't enjoy the things that I was able to enjoy. So I appreciate your vote for District 7 Newmarket. And if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out, message me, or want to just talk. Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Lloyd.
Well, thank you all. And again, I want to extend my appreciation to the Jefferson County Post and Dr. McGraw. And Dr. McGraw and I actually served on the Livestock Association board together, and they left that off your long list of accolades for some reason. But no, I'm a lifelong resident here in Jefferson County, born and raised here. Went all the way through the Jefferson County education system, then went on to the University of Tennessee, received a degree in animal science and a minor in agriculture business. Since that time, I've had a full-time role in our family's farm operation in partnership with my dad. And that was actually started in 1867, so I'd be the 5th generation there today. And my wife, McKenna, and I hope to hopefully raise another generation on that farm. And, you know, kind of the mentality that's allowed that business to survive as long as it has, and I think the mentality that every farmer and business owner has, is that we're making decisions not in terms of a year or two, but really thinking of things in terms of decades. So anything that I implement on my business, you know, I'm thinking of how, not only how it's going to affect the rest of my career, but generations ahead. And I think we need to apply that same mentality here towards county business as well. So I've enjoyed serving so far. I'd be remiss if I didn't say a little something about John Neal. Obviously, I'm serving out his term and looked up to him very much, you know, knew him my entire life and considered him a friend and viewed him as a mentor in many different ways as a farmer and leader here in our community. So thank you all, and I'd appreciate your support May 5th.
Jason, Aaron, thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause. Right. Good job. Good to see you again, Aaron. All righty, we're ready for District 8. Ms. Depew, how many people are running for District 8?
We have 5 running in the primary and 1 independent, but the independent is here, so we just have
Okay.
But tonight we will only have 4 people who are participating.
4 people. So we're going to draw out of the hat and find out who is first, second, third, and fourth.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And if you would, just have a seat, turn your mic on, and let everybody know your name and number.
Linda Miss. Can I?
Are you over here?
We'll get to the things. We probably need a little bit of a break. We're toward the end? Okay, if you need to get up and go to the restroom, I know the men's is right behind me. Okay? Is the women's right behind me too? Okay. I never went to the women's when I was on the county commission here, so I don't know for sure.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
You might have been in for a...
I would have gotten voted off the commission, wouldn't I? I'm fine. I'm doing great. And so what I need you to do is state your number and your name. Is everybody drawn? Is everybody drawn? All righty. Let's start.
My name is Linda McSmith, District 8, number 4.
Linda McSmith, and you were number 4?
Correct.
I'm Gail Weaver Farzanagan, and I'm number 3.
And Gail is number 3, so you are ahead of Linda, Gail Farzanagan. Next.
I am Jim Fox, and I am number 1 in District 8.
Numero 1 for Jim Fox.
I am Danny Julian, and I'm number 2.
Danny Julian, number 2. Okay, Jim, Danny, Gail. There's something wrong with this order because I've always heard ladies first, and we're putting them last. There's something wrong with that, but I don't have time to analyze.
We can redraw, or, I'll give them the courtesy.
You're so nice, Jim, but then it would make us have to draw again or something. So here we go. All right. Mr. Fox, what uniquely qualifies you to be a county commissioner? That's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
That is pretty straightforward. I'm going to stand so everybody can see. What makes me unique is that really I'm not a politician. I'm just a citizen. I started getting involved about 3 years ago. I started with an idea of the short-term rentals, and I worked at it as a private citizen for 3 years and spent 600 hours into it. And I did that as a private citizen, and then last October,
the county commission actually passed that 16-3, and with that, it put in health and safety issues, answered those things for the renters and the owners, and also developed. We were able to diversify our revenue stream to what appears to be, or could potentially be, $6.5 million a year, and that would definitely would affect everybody's property taxes, potentially will taxes, and et cetera, et cetera. And if I can do that on where your guys are sitting, just imagine what I could do on this side of the rail. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fox. Mr. Julian, you got the question? You got it okay?
Yes, sir.
Good, go ahead.
I'm not a politician by far, but I have run a multi-million-dollar company, and I've been in Jefferson County many, many years. My family was raised here. I moved away for a little while. I have, back to a question you asked about the cell phones. I have sat in on some meetings and seen some deals made on cell phones. And I assume that's what they were making. And I just think there need to be more transparency on the council, and I think there need to be workshops.
Okay. We were really specifically asking for your qualifications. The bell hadn't rung yet. Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm pretty well at managing books and good with people and.
All right. Good. All right. Ms. Farzanigan, same question. What are your unique qualities?
Well, I am Gail Weaver Farzanigan, and I'm a college graduate. I'm smart, but number one, I'm a woman. And I think, we have enough men, pardon the men, but I think we need some more women.
You turned off? There you go.
It doesn't stay on.
Just keep your finger off it.
I have. We'll take it off?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now
I'm going to learn this. Okay. And I have worked in government.
She's good. She had her finger on it.
Okay.
That's okay.
Oh, is that okay? Thank you.
Where it got you switched over.
I've worked in government for all my career. I've done strategic planning. I have done mediation, which I think we need a lot more level-headed people who can work with diverse opinions and come to a common decision. That and the planning of strategic moves, I think, are very important. I've owned 2 farms in my life, and I grew up going to my granddaddy's farm, and I actually rode the tractor that was pulled by mules. Now, how many can do that? So anyway, I think that I am about as level-headed as you can come. I'm very slow to anger. I have I don't have to be right. I just need to listen to what you're saying. And once I hear what you're saying, then I'll be able to have my response. And together, I think we can come up with something that makes some sense. We've had a good old boy syndrome in here for a long time, and I feel like we need to shake things up a little bit. And I'm pretty good at that. So other than just being a woman, level-headed, and a mediator, I've been trained in facilitation and mediation and in strategic planning. And I think we need both of those in abundance in County Commission.
Good. All right. Thank you, Ms. Farzanigan. Now, Ms. McSmith.
My name is Linda.
Uniquely qualifies you.
Yes. My name is Linda McSmith. We purchased our property back in 1990. I'm not a lifelong Jefferson County resident, but we've been here for a long time. And I really began becoming very active as it relates to County Commission about 8 years ago. My husband and I have attended probably almost every County Commission meeting in these last 8 years. We attend budget meetings, excuse me, and zoning meetings and all kinds of meetings that you can possibly think of, to become educated on what's happening in this county, to be able to go forward and let the citizens where I'm located know what is going on. I run a community page for where I live, giving them updates as to what's going on in the county, letting them have an idea of what's happening, what's progressing, what's going on with the schools as it relates to Jefferson County. Additionally, I come from a background with a lot of financial background. I ran at least 7 multi-million-dollar facilities, along with then going to corporate from a publicly traded company with 76 facilities. I worked in medical malpractice, risk management, ethics, regulatory compliance, and I have a lot of experience as it relates to that. Very strong financial background, working with budgets, working with how to work with people to come to common sense, using critical thinking skills to come to conclusions of where you need to go, and not just putting Band-Aids on things to fix them. I have a very strong performance improvement background where you get down to what the problem is to solve it, not just continue to make small changes.
Thank you, Ms. McSmith. Now the next question. What is your vision for attracting new businesses while supporting existing local employers? Two-part question. How do you attract new businesses yet continue to support our existing local employers? What's your vision? Mr. Fox, you're first.
Thank you. My vision is really, everybody has talked about building and bringing industry and bringing manufacturing and bringing all these things to our county. The fact of the matter is we're known as a bedroom county, and that's okay. But the other question is, that I ask people is, where do you go to eat? Where do you go for your entertainment? And the fact of the matter is, we're going somewhere else because we don't have the middle to upscale restaurants that will support us being a bedroom county. The same thing for entertainment. I mean, this county doesn't even have a bowling alley or a movie theater. And so when you talk about date night, there's nowhere to go besides somewhere else. And so what ends up happening is we're supporting other communities with our money, and we're not supporting our own. And so I would strongly encourage us to develop middle of the upscale restaurants, strongly look at developing entertainment besides Douglas Lake and Cherokee Lake. I think of things like it was talked to before about having agritourism and an arena. I envision things like, why can't we have an amphitheater? I think if we're going to be a tourism county, which is what we need to do and attract dollars and diversify our tax base, is we need to find and attract entertainment and restaurants that are destination places versus somebody going to Pigeon Forge or Sevierville or Gatlinburg or going to Morristown and whatnot. We need to create those destination places where people want to come here and spend their dollars, and I think that's the best way for us to, those are the businesses that we do need to attract.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fox. Mr. Julian, you understand the question, okay?
Yes.
Your vision for attracting new businesses while supporting the existing local business.
I agree a lot with what Jim said. I think to attract new businesses, we might offer some kind of short deal tax break. Not a long term, but a short term, and to get the business in and rolling. And the only attraction we have here is this body of water. And when we get all these fishermen come in to the body of water, like Jim said, they have nowhere to go eat, no entertainment. They're either going to Sevierville, Morristown, or somewhere else. and we need to bring something here local, and whether it's on 92 or downtown Main Street. And I think the body of water is it, and we just got to add to that body of water.
Thank you. Ms. Farzanigan.
Yes. Okay. I think that with working as a vision with new businesses, I think that we need to definitely work with the Chamber of Commerce. I think that we need to attract new businesses. I feel that we do need some kind of an event center. I think that was mentioned before. I think that that would be very apropos for our area, where it would have a venue of local craftsmen that are here. We've got very talented citizens in Jefferson County, and we need to promote what they do. In my visiting my constituents, I have seen a lot of crafts that have been made that I think would be absolutely marketable. Also, I feel like, and I agree with the others saying that we need some restaurants. What we're having come in all the time are these fast food places. And you know, you can fast food yourself to death, but people don't want that. They want something that is apropos for our community, something that would be kind of unique. Maybe being able to take one of the historic houses that will become vacant, making it into a restaurant. I know that my husband and I met at a place like that in East Tennessee town, and it was charming, and we don't have anything like that. We don't have a local bakery. We have a downtown that is precious, but we are lacking some unique things that make it more of a village feel. And I've been to other places that have that, and I see the potential that we have here in Jefferson County, and particularly in Dandridge, downtown Dandridge, that we can definitely improve upon.
Okay, Ms. Farzanigan, and finally, Ms. McSmith.
I think when we start talking about bringing in industry and businesses, what we first need to look at is, does our infrastructure support them? We first need to take care of that so that we can move forward with bringing in the industry, bringing in the businesses. If you've attended some of the zoning meetings, there are issues with some of the businesses that we already have, and the needs of the communities where inappropriate industry has moved in and the roads do not support that. So we need to make sure, as we're bringing these things in, that we're going through and making the right decisions before they're put into place, and now we have to go back and try and figure out what we're going to do on the backside of it. If we think forward, we have a lot less problems on the backside because it'll run smoothly. But yes, bring in the restaurants, bring in hotels, look at our main thoroughfares, look at things like they no longer do the Craftsman Fair at Dollywood any longer. Could we do something like a Craftsman Fair? Get a hold of those old vendors, bring them in and have them do some of that crafts work and things along those lines. We have some of that in some of the other areas. We could partner that with some of our local people who do arts and crafts. But look at some of the things that we could bring in here, some juried type of arts and craft, some things that would move us along and move us up as a community and as a county.
Thank you, Ms. McSmith. Good. Okay, this question, and it's your last one. What investments, very similar to the other one ahead of it, what investments are needed to improve parks, recreation, and community amenities? So as I read this question, we're not talking about business or industry. We're talking about improved parks, recreation, and community amenities. Got it? All right, Mr. Fox.
Well, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
It is.
When you start talking about parks and recreations and stuff, most of those are really inside the municipalities. We do need some places to go, for us to go for our recreations. Ball fields would be great, softball fields, Little League for the Little Leagues, or baseball fields, or those sort of things. And again, maybe you could do small concerts or whatnot at these places as well. But we should have something that folks can use and go to on a regular basis in their neighborhoods and in their communities. Now, the question is, what investments? Obviously, infrastructure has been a hot topic all night, especially after the Jefferson City water debacle. And so everybody's taking a very strong look at that. There's been a lot of talk about roads, and I think it's reintroducing the proposed mineral tax, which will generate about $600,000 a year, that has to go directly to the highway department, and that can build a pave, I believe, I could be wrong, up to about 20 miles of road. And again, that is money that we can collect, revenue we can collect, that is not coming off our backs. And so the park and recreation, again, the hotel motel tax is tourism and economic development. Parks and recreation does apply to that, so that's money we can use to invest in that. Another thought would be getting businesses to sponsor those things to help offset those costs. And Bush's has done a great job over in Chestnut Hill, that park over there. They own the property and they sponsor it and do a great job maintaining it. So maybe we could get other businesses to do that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Mr. Julian.
Yes, I ran the Parks and Recreation Knox County 1991-92. We funded it with grants mostly and private donations. I don't know of a park that we have around here besides Field of Dreams. Maybe I'm just oblivious, but I've not drove by a park in Jefferson County that you could take kids to or whatever, but I think that we need a park, we need a public pool. A public pool would pay for itself, and for as well as the park goes, like I said, grants and maybe an admission to use those parks would pay for that.
Thank you. Ms. Farzanigan.
I do agree with what my colleagues have said about making use of grants. I think that we haven't done enough in that area. I have had experience because I've worked with the federal government in getting grants, and I think that would be very appropriate for recreation facilities. Also, I do agree that we do need to have the infrastructure in order to support those. And so that comes in with, first of all, we have to plan, where do we want these to be placed in the communities? We also need then to have a budget that we can draw from, and that comes from knowing all about how to make a budget and where the money can come from, because from our revenue is the only place we have in order to fund these budgets. So we've got to look at the revenue. And then I think that the people should also, in our district, in District 8, I feel like we need to access you as a resource in telling us where you think we need to have a park or a recreation facility in the 8th District. I think that that's very important that we listen to you all, because I think, you are going to be the ones, along with us, using them. And I think you have a lot of great ideas that we need to hear. And as a commissioner, I definitely want to hear from all of you that are in the 8th District. I have many ways that I'm going to access your knowledge and your information. And so I'm going to put those in place so that I can hear as much from you as possible through Facebook, through a website. I think that even the county, oh, can I finish that one sentence?
Sure, please.
Okay. I even think that the county commission ought to have a website. Okay? Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Ms. McSmith?
Yes. When we start thinking about the parks and different things, I think we need to think about locations, where they're most useful, where are our concentrations of kids, work with the schools as far as where those areas are, look at things along those lines, look at the county funding that we do have that we're not able to use towards those type of scenarios, because those are earmarked or unusable funds unless they're used towards these type of situations, so that we can then access those, because we can't use them for other things. We can't use them for general expenses, so why not use them in a way and start making those monies work for us better. When we start looking at that, we also need to come up with a plan for that. This is not something you can do in 1, 2, or 4 years either. This is about a 10-year plan. You can get started on it, but you're not going to reach that end term of it in 4 years. It will be an ongoing project that will need to be handed off. Additionally, we have to look at things like zoning. We have to look at things that will need to be changed. So it's never just a quick fix of what we can do where. We have to know what impacts what in order to do something. And it's never as easy as, oh, we've got a corner over here and there's 3 acres, and why don't we just plop that right in there? Number one, who owns the property? Can we get that property? What's the cost of the property? And what do we have to do to put that use in there? So we have to think about that and then look at the funding, look at grants, because there are a lot of grants out there. They are not fun to put in for. It's a lot of labor and a lot of difficult times, believe me. I've been doing them for our fire department. So in closing that remark, we just need to be thoughtful about it and use our monies we have first and look at how we can bring in more money to fund it.
Thank you. Okay, District 8 candidates, you get a chance, 90 seconds, to speak to your voters and ask them to vote for you and why they should. Mr. Fox, start.
Thank you. I'm Jim Fox, running for District 8, and I would appreciate your vote. There's a lot of talk about, I've heard a lot about ancestry here tonight, where somebody was born, where they're raised, how many generations, and et cetera, et cetera. I can say, for myself, unlike a former president, I can produce my birth certificate, and it says Jefferson City, Tennessee. And also, there's a cemetery on 411 that's established 1787, that is Fox Cemetery, and I can trace my ancestry straight back to there. What does that mean? That's nice, but I think, and this election or any election should not be based on your longevity as how long you've lived here. I think it should be based on your ideas and your thoughts and your processes and your beliefs and the person, not just how long you've lived here. I work very hard on the short-term rentals and getting that established, which greatly helped diversifying our revenue, which, as I said before, helps with our tax base. I think there's a lot more work to be done, that we could find revenue that other people will be paying for us instead of being 100% on our backs. And I've talked about trying to develop entertainment and restaurants and et cetera, so that this is a go-to place. And I thank you for your time, and I appreciate your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Mr. Julian, your summary remarks.
I'm Danny Julian, married to my beautiful wife, Kimberly. I have 2 sons, 2 granddaughters, and I think one reason you should vote for me, It's sort of a joke. I don't have yellow signs all over town. But that was just a joke. But I would enjoy serving the public, and I would make it as transparent as possible. And that's what I want to see in this office, transparency and hard work. And I'd appreciate a vote.
Thank you, Mr. Julian. Ms. Farzanigan.
I'm Gail Weaver Farzanigan, and I am running for commission for District 8. And I just want to tell you that my own daughter cannot afford a house. And I think that we've got to do something about housing. We have to keep our young people able to afford to have a house. I think that, indeed, I agree with everyone in the fact that we need more transparency in our government. And we haven't, when we don't have that, or the appearance of not having it is as bad as not having it at all. And so I feel like we're going to have to let our people know what we're doing in a very timely manner and have you informed. If you're not informed, how in the world are you going to influence us to vote? So I think we need to do more of a transparency in our government as well. Also, I just want to tell you that it's been a joy to meet all of you in District 8. That has been the one joy that I have had in all of this. I've met some wonderful people, and I've been blessed by doing that. I've been a lifelong conservative Christian Republican. And although I have not lived in Jefferson County all of my life, I do appreciate the fact that other people can come in with good ideas who love this county, and I'm one of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Farzanigan. Now, Ms. McSmith, your final.
My name is Linda McSmith, and I am from District 8. I'm from the south side of the lake, so I come pretty far over here. I was part of the Jefferson to Sevier movement back several years ago, and we did not succeed in getting over to Sevier County, but we made improvements, and that was the big goal of what we were doing. We got our roads paved, we improved our EMS times, we got, roads paved, EMS, school buses. Our children no longer had to be 90 minutes each way to school every day. So 3 hours. Now it's only 2 hours, but it's better than it was. So that was important to us. Now I'm looking to not only represent District 8, but everybody in Jefferson County. I want to hear from everybody, not just District 8, because if I can help you and reach out to your commissioner and get them on the ball about something, I will do that. I am here to represent Jefferson County and not just District 8. So I'm a detail-oriented, obsessive-compulsive, I'm a critical thinker. I'm a registered nurse by background, so I kind of think in that lines, and that's kind of what my personality is. And I would like to serve the citizens of District 8. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for hosting us.
I think all of you from District 8 need to be very appreciative of the fact that you've got 4 people here that are running and very qualified. Thank you. Let's give them a round.
Okay.
All right, District 9. We're moving right along.
My name is James E. Jimmy Carmichael, and my number is number 1.
Number 1. Number 2.
My name is Brad Toomey, number 2.
Brad Toomey.
My name is Ashley Livesey, number 3.
I need to hear one more time. Livesey. 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, start the debate again.
All right, please sit down. We want to go ahead and get through these last 2 county commissioners and brief school board. Okay. Are you ready? What is your vision for attracting new businesses while supporting existing local employers? You've heard this question before. What is your vision? Attracting new businesses while yet supporting existing local employers. All right, Mr. Carmichael.
My vision for attracting new businesses is the first thing you need to do is canvass the businesses that you have. And what you should be doing is reaching out to all the businesses in this county and start the conversation with what do you need? Because you need to work with who's here first before you welcome somebody to hurt their business. So what we need to do is build an infrastructure that's based on business to where you reach out to people and you've got a list. I've been in business my whole adult life in Jefferson County. Chamber of Commerce never called me. So we need a conversation started. That's what we need to do. We need to build on the business we have. Then you know what to welcome into the county to accent what's already here. And that's what we need to do.
Good, thank you. Mr. Toomey.
Sure. First, I'd start by knowing what I don't know, and I'd go out and ask different business owners, not just from Jefferson County, but all over the country and all over our state, what they need to be here. Because we need good jobs locally here in Jefferson County. And I would say that I wouldn't be afraid of competition either. We have to build a diverse job base for the future. There's a lot going on in our economy right now. AI is going to change everything. You think AI won't change physical jobs, give it 10 years, it'll change physical jobs too. So we need to build a base for diverse jobs that pay well to help our community, but we have to start by asking business owners what they need to be here first.
Thank you. Ms. Livesey, did I say it correctly? Livesey?
Yes, sir. I would say you would start out by supporting your small businesses and then asking them what they need. Because if you're not supporting them on a daily basis, how are you going to know what they need? Or what we need to do as a community to do better, or to help with taxes, or help with anything else we have going on. So if you're not consistently supporting our small businesses, there's no way for us to benefit or them to benefit, period, in this community.
Thank you. Mr. Walker.
Well, I grew up here. Jefferson County is a blue-collar, mostly small business community county. We got to start supporting our small businesses. Quit going to the guy that's cheaper that lives up the road. Get it started there. Big industry. We need to look at these industrial parks that's completely empty. Like, the percentages are terrible. We're not doing nothing with them. They're sitting there empty. I mean, we got the Jefferson County Alliance that works for us that, looks into these things. We need to start holding, candle under them. Let's get this stuff in here. Let's let them carry the tax burden, and then let's go with that. We got to quit putting the tax dollar on the people and start looking at industry growth and business all the way around, from small business to large business.
All righty. Here's the second question. Listen closely. What is your approach to long-term debt and borrowing for major county projects? What is your approach to long-term debt and borrowing for major county projects? Mr. Carmichael.
That's a very good question, and my approach to long-term debt is, when I come on this county commission in 2010, we was in the middle of building schools. And in 2014, we had the most debt this county had ever seen. And I've been on this commission going on 16 years. And we made the approach to debt is, we got to get this paid down. We're down to 30 million now. We did that in that amount of time from 2014. I can remember when Jefferson County government had $50,000 in the bank. I watched it. I was the chairman in 2014, and I overseen that. So long-term debt is always in the consideration. We have actually, at one time, our debt ratio was so high that we really struggled with just meeting the bills. We were $4.4 million short of making our tax rate in 2014. That's a problem. In 9 months, we had to cut 10% out of everything. to balance the budget in 2014. That's where we was at. So in our debt management, we put that money back in 9 months of that same year. By 2015, we fixed that problem. That's being judicial with your money. That's doing what it takes to run county government, and that's what has to be done. And you know, we got a lot of new people tonight talking about a lot of long-term debt and how you pay it. You gotta buckle down, and you gotta make every dollar count. That's what we have to do. And we have to analyze everything from where we want to be. You know, you're talking about long-range planning. Right now, we're getting our debt down manageable that we can actually afford to do these projects out of cash money. The Jefferson County Elementary refurb was done out of cash money on both sides. We was actually paying enough in interest to build a new school every, I think it was 7 years in 2016. That we had it figured out. Mr. John Dale Scarlett was a very good friend of mine, and we talked about it all the time.
Thank you. Mr. Toomey.
Thank you. Say I know a little bit about debt, might be an understatement. My background, I probably haven't got to introduce myself to a lot of you. A lot of my constituents in District 9 over the last few weeks have got to know me. I have 25 years experience working with a major Wall Street bank in finance. I help manage debt portfolios, municipal investment portfolios. I understand the double-edged sword of debt. Long-term debt is good, long-term debt is bad. That's the answer I would have. It depends on how you use that debt, what you're using it for. Are you investing in your community, or are you just doing it to fix the Band-Aid? So my view on long-term debt is going to be case-by-case basis before the commission, and really what it's being used for. I'd want it to be used for long-term investment in the community that's going to pay this community back.
Thank you. Ms. Livesey.
I'm gonna have to piggyback off of what you just said. I think it's on a case-by-case basis. It depends on what our goal is, our long-term goal is, to determine what we are going to be willing to go into debt for in this county. If you have smaller debts, you look at those first, and then you go on to your larger debts. But I'm new to this. I've never done anything with the commission. This is a learning process for me. So you're gonna have to bear with me through all this. But I'm wanting to learn, and I'm willing to listen to my people and know what they want out of this. And this is stuff that I'll figure out along the way.
And Mr. Walker.
I sat on county commission budget, and I think one of our meetings went to 10 o'clock at night. One of the hardest things you've ever had to do in your life is to cut people, nonprofits, fire departments, and things that make this county go around. That's one of the hardest things I've ever done. I mean, we had a lot of debt. The first 4 years I was here, it was a learning curve. Didn't know nothing about it. Once we learned, got used to how it worked, different accounts, how we paid things off, it made a lot of sense. We paid off debt over the last 8 years. It was catastrophic according to statistics. I feel like we've done a really good job there. I think going forward, depending on what we need to go in debt for, hearing the people here the other night at the meeting, they said we was in good standings. We've got a good justice center. We've got a good high school. That's two of the biggest costs in the county. And the biggest thing is if we're going to go in debt, we got to make sure it's worth it. We got to get the interest rate where we need it. And if we can pay cash for it, let's pay cash for it and not be in debt. Thank you.
Okay, we've got another question. Thank you for those good answers. How will you evaluate and vote on capital projects such as schools, county facilities with the limited financial resources? How will you evaluate and vote on these capital projects?
Thank you, Mr. John. And to evaluate capital projects, you got to have a basis for what you want to lay out. And with me, it's needs, wants, and gotta-haves. You got the needs, you got what you want, but the gotta-haves have got to come first. Then the needs have to come in. So to evaluate a project, you got to decide what is it going to be worth, the money you're going to have to spend versus the end result. A lot of times in government, what happens is you have good intentions, you mean to do the right thing, but in the end, the result wasn't quite what it should have been. So you need to look at every debt for exactly what it is. You got to look at it and say, look, where are we at in this game right now? We as a county are just now getting in a position that we can afford to actually do things. And you know, that's a major plus. We have a AA bond rating in Jefferson County. That's unheard of for a county our size. You know, we match Knox County. You know, so I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of the record that we've had. I'm very proud of the votes that I've made for this commission. You know, I'm probably the oldest guy in the room tonight on the commission because Mr. Sammy Solomon's got one term on me. But you know, I've always felt like that we were trying to do the right thing. But you got to reach out. Everybody needs to work together. That's where the commission we got now has failed miserably by not wanting to work together, not wanting to sit across the aisle and look at people and say, it's not us against them. We're going to work for the betterment. Because there's not a person in this room that loves Jefferson County anymore than Jimmy Carmichael. I promise you.
Thank you, Mr. Carmichael. Mr. Timmy.
Yeah, going to be a similar answer to my prior question, but evaluating capital projects is really important in exactly what you are trying to achieve. And you might sound like similar copy and paste up here of each other, but it's important. It's really important the way you evaluate exactly what you're trying to achieve, because you might not have to make a brand new capital investment. There can be other ways to achieve your goal without having to do that. Whether we fund it from debt, whether we fund it from cash, I agree the county is in great standing in terms of being able to borrow. I might disagree with some of the advice that the county commission might have been given recently by a municipal advisor, but I do think we're in a really good, strong position to have flexibility. In evaluating other things, and specifically when it comes to schools, I look at what the school needs. I know from capacity numbers, I think the schools are in great shape. I don't think we really need to build out and expand from that. There might be things we have to work with the school board about thinking of, maybe where things are located for the best use in our education facilities. That would be the first thing that I always want to prioritize. Capital spending for education, I think, is very, very important. When it comes to other county facilities, I know we recently just approved expanding the county facilities and specifically the garage. I want to think about before we actually make a permanent expansion like that, are there other ways to achieve the goal that we're doing? Yes, we probably save some money on some vehicles being serviced here, but do all vehicles need to be serviced at the county garage would be a question that I think about first before I want to make that type of investment.
Thank you, Mr. Toomey. Ms. Lipson?
Could you repeat the question?
I sure can. How will you as a commissioner, evaluate and vote on capital projects, any capital projects, such as school, county facilities, given our limited resources?
I would say that my view on things is a secure community or a safe community is a strong community. So when it comes to my beliefs on how we decide our funding, I'm always going to be pro law enforcement, pro EMS, pro our school systems, pro fire department, because if our community feels safe and we are paying these people the way that they should be paid, our community is going to feel better about their taxes and anything that comes with that. Now, am I saying that we need a tax increase 7% like we've had recently? No, I'm not. I'm saying that we should have small increments of tax increases if we're going to have a tax increase to help benefit our community, whether that be on a capital project, whether that be helping fund our law enforcement, helping fund our fire departments, our EMS, our school systems. That's what's important to this county, and that's what we've got to take care of.
Thank you. Mr. Walker?
Kind of have to go with kind of what everybody else has said. I mean, as needed. I sat on the commission for 8 years. Jefferson Elementary was brought to us when it was in the worst of shape. In the past, we trusted school board members to fix things at other schools that never got fixed. So we got a good relationship now with the school board. We've been holding money for projects, capital projects, holding accountability. We've been getting things fixed and done. I think that when things come up that we absolutely have to fix, it's beyond that point. It never should get to that point. We should be fixing these things when we have the money to fix them as needed on the way up the ladder. It shouldn't come to us to a total loss to where something has to be fixed or completely rebuilt that would cause a tax increase or any burden for the county. When we've got people to look at these things, I mean, we get ADA compliance, we've done all these things, and the list goes on and on. So, you know, we've got to start using our cash options, do that, what we need to do there, and if it's got to be financed and it has to be done, we can do it.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Those are good answers, and now we summarize, and you as candidates get a chance to look your voters in the eye from District 9 and 90 seconds to say why they should vote for you.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Jefferson Post. I'd like to thank everybody in the room for coming out. Like I say, my name is James Edward Carmichael. Most people call me Jimmy or just Carmichael, and I'm a lifelong resident of Jefferson County. I've been here since 1964 and graduated Jefferson County High School in '83. And at one time on this commission, there was 5 of us, so the class of '83 that all graduated together. We pretty much took all the same classes, and I'm lifelong pro-military. I am a veteran, and I've had a very successful life with my father. We were partners in business adventures of Carmichael Construction. He started in 1963 to 1993, and I took over in 1993, and me and him actually swapped places. So my qualification for the commission in my business life, I started out in the towing recovery business. Then I moved into the Carmichael Cranes. And then when I moved on in, it was Carmichael Movers. We moved houses, we moved buildings, we moved a little bit of everything. And now I'm back in the excavation business where I've always been. So, you know, my qualifications for asking you for your vote is that I have been in the business my whole adult life. That's all I've done is business. And, you know, like I say, Jefferson County is my passion. I've been on this commission. If I make it, the good Lord says I get to go to August. I've been here 16 years. So I've been very fortunate to learn from a lot of commissioners. I've watched a lot of mistakes happen, and you know, we can build on this. Jefferson County can be fixed, and I just appreciate your support and vote.
Thank you, Mr. Carmichael. Mr. Toomey.
So I'm probably going to sound a little different in that I'm not from here. Get that out of the way. I appreciate everyone that has a lifelong journey here and deep roots in the family. And I chose to move here with my wife and young kids specifically for that reason. The amount of neighbors that we met the first year we started our little tiny farm over on Watkins Road is unbelievable. The help from the community, and that's exactly why we moved here. We fell in love with Jefferson County very, very quickly, to the point where my wife says that her favorite view of where we used to live is in the rear view of our car when we come back home after holiday visits. But my qualifications for really wanting to help here, I've never run for elected office in my life. I've helped other friends, I've helped on campaigns before, I've done that work for them. My background is in business and finance. I understand budgets. I've served on citizen finance boards for school boards before. I have served on HOA for about 10 years in different locations around the country and actually here in Tennessee, both as president, treasurer, and finance manager. And I really do love to work on consensus. I advise clients with businesses. I understand business, both at a very high level and also down at the ground level. But really, I just love the community here, and I really do want it to be somewhere strong that my family can stay. And 3 generations from now sit up here and said they've been here for 3 generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toomey. Ms. Livesey.
I'm sure you all can tell I'm not a politician. Definitely not something I ever thought I would be doing. I was born and raised here. I grew up on a tobacco farm. I still live on that farm. Me and my fiance just built a house there. I support farmers 100,000% because I don't want to be our horn subdivision in my backyard. I support law enforcement. I see a change that needs to be had in this commission, and I'm not sure what that entails or what that looks like, but that's the reason I'm here. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to always make a perfect decision, but I do want to listen to what you all have to say and how you all want me to vote. That's what we're here for. We're here for you all, not for what we want. So if you have any questions, you can call me, you can message me, you can email me, whatever you need from me. I'm here to listen to you all, and I appreciate your all's time and staying as long as you did, because not many people did. And I appreciate you, Mr. McGraw, and I would appreciate your all's vote.
Thank you, Ms. Lucy, and Mr. Walker.
First of all, thank you, Dr. McGraw, Jefferson Post, for having this. It's good to get everybody together and have a debate. I was born and raised in Talbot. I grew up cutting tobacco for one of our fellow commissioners, Bud Watkins, him and his wife Betty. I run 2 small businesses in Talbot, excavation business, towing and recycling business. I talk to my constituents, or ride around, usually every afternoon, and talk to 1 or 2 people. I helped get roads fixed. It was in terrible shape, potholes, and there's still a few that we've got to get fixed. I've always got an open phone. Call me, anything you need. I can come by anytime. I stand with Talbot, and I stand strong with Talbot. Thank you.
Sounds like we have 4 good candidates for County Commission from District 9. Thank y'all so much. District 10, how many do we have, Ms. Chrissy?
I think only one is good.
Oh, the Colonel. There he is. Well, all you have to do is say your name and why you're running again.
I'd like to say more than that.
Well, but you say so much already on the county commission, so we just...
That's for sure.
Introduce yourself just so everybody knows.
My name is Marcus Reed. I serve District 10. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve this commission, but most importantly, to serve you. I'll be honest, I'm not real popular. That doesn't bother me any. I do love the citizens of Jefferson County. I do. I'm not from Jefferson County, but I am from Jefferson County. I have 13 grandchildren and soon to be 5 great-grandchildren that live in Jefferson County or right outside Jefferson County. So I believe I'm almost getting enough people in here so I can maybe stay in office if I want to till I'm about 86. But anyway, there's one lady on the District 9 that pointed out something that's very dear to my heart, but there's 2 things I'd like to say first. Jefferson County Schools. I'm so proud about the $1.2 million that they have earned through academic excellence. I'm so proud of the vice chairman of the Jefferson County School Board and the relationship that we have between commission and the school board. We've been able to really do a lot of good things for the county. Everyone mentions about the debt. When I came on commission, we were over $100 million in debt, and we did not even account the interest as debt. Well, if you have a mortgage, you count the interest as debt. Look where we're at now, because once and foremost, a lot of us stood our ground, and we were able to get some good things done. Can I take just a little bit more?
No.
Okay.
But I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How many years in the Marine Corps?
Almost 27.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Yes, sir.
Marcus Reed, District 10. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, Marcus. You'll get plenty of time, don't you? Yes, sir. All right, that's our county commission.
All right, and school board is next, District 1. And then is District, it's 3, right? 1 and 3. That's right. Is anyone from District 3 here? Mark? He was here, okay. I'll get you up right after this. All right, guys, you just have take a minute and a half and tell them who you are.
My name is Doug Ibbotson. I'm the school board commissioner for School Board District 1, which is virtually all the counties south of the interstate, and also Piedmont. I'm also the vice chairman of the school board. I'm serving my first term. And if I could have some indulgence, just like the judge earlier on, because the vice chairman does what the chairman tells him to do, Joshua Cameron, who is our chairman, can't be here tonight because he is an active teacher and he is with he's an agricultural teacher with his FAA group in Nashville. So he wanted me to mention that. I'm not going to talk about me. I'm one vote
on the school board. We have a well-rounded team on the school board. How do I know that? 2 weeks ago, we were named one of the top school districts in the state of Tennessee. Out of 147 school districts, we are among the top 21. That puts us in the top 14% of school districts in Tennessee. We are one of 3 top school districts out of 23 in East Tennessee. When I came on the school board, and this is not because of me, when we came on the school board, that was unheard of. What we've done is we've worked as a team, and our motto is lots of things can get done when nobody cares who gets the credit. Thank you very much. I ask for your vote.
Number 3?
I don't think anybody else is here from. Is anybody else here from School Board District 3? Okay. It is a contested position, so he'll actually get 3 questions.
Unless, let's give him 2 minutes and let him talk. Is that okay? Is that okay? Everybody wants you to just talk for 2 minutes. Tell us why you need to be.
Everybody wants me to talk for 30 seconds.
No, but
read the audience.
It is a contested position.
Yeah, it is a contested position.
okay.
All right. We don't need to draw a number. All you, if you want the podium.
Tell everybody who you are. We all know, but tell them anyway.
Well, good evening. My name is Mark Fitcham. I am a resident of Jefferson County, specifically over in Jefferson City, District 3. I'd like to have your support and your vote for the school board.
Mark, here's your first question. I'm sorry, I should call you Mr. Fincham, but we've known each other a long time. How can Jefferson County attract and retain quality educational professionals?
I'm glad the question was phrased that way, quality educational professionals, because most people hear that and they probably think teachers. Well, yes, absolutely. We have some good teachers in this county. But that also means attracting and holding on to good staff people, good administrators, good bus drivers, good cafeteria workers, good substitute teachers, good central office staff. So when you think education professionals, please understand that's a broad category, because as a teacher here in Jefferson County for 33 years, retired a few years back, that job is wonderful. I loved it, but it wouldn't have happened to any degree of success, really, without all those other people involved. And so one of the things that we have to do, and I think the school board has gotten off to a good start with that, and that is working on making sure that the salary goes up. A certain amount of that is state level, a certain amount of it is county level, but we've got to do that, and we've got to continue to maintain a good working climate, because it doesn't matter how much you get paid if you don't want to go to work. And so we have to make sure that that's the case, and that means not just paying somebody, but providing the good health insurance that's needed, the good time off that's needed from time to time, the personal leave, the bereavement leave, the sick leave. And we need to be able to support them with enough money, not just in their salary, but enough money to buy the supplies that they need to have, and enough money to provide the professional development that they need to have.
Next question. Would you support rezoning to address overcrowding in some schools and underuse in other schools?
I would support it if it's necessary, but sometimes that can be a short-term solution. And so we need to look and see what we need to do. Maybe a long-term solution is to increase size at a school rather than make changes in transportation. Transportation might be helpful, but think about it from the parents and the kids situation. I know a lot of kids that don't want to change schools because that means, well, I want to be a fill in the blank, plainsman, hornet, elk, cyclone. I don't want to move to somewhere where I don't have any friends. And so it needs to be considered. It should be a tool in the toolbox. It's not something to eliminate completely, but it is not maybe the first thing that you necessarily go to.
Good. And your last question, and this is a good one for someone who's been a teacher. How involved should the school board be in curriculum decisions, such as textbook adoptions, that are brought by professional committees?
Well, I had the privilege a few years back of serving on the state textbook committee for social studies. I've served on the district committee 3 or 4 times, but the state committee I was really pleased about, because with the state social studies textbooks that we examined, we meaning a group of teachers from across the state that were selected to take that opportunity, to take that privilege, to take that responsibility. Our instructions from the state was the textbooks need to be 100% aligned with the standards, the curriculum standards that the state has approved. And so I'm happy to say that as far as the ones that I looked at, which was high school, world history, they were almost 100%. And I told the textbook companies, you're not quite there. Look on page 29. Where does it say? You left out this, you left out that. You've got a whole section of this, and that's not part of the standards. Do you really need it? And so the others of us on the committee, we put in our input, and we got responses back from those companies saying, look at this, here, we've changed this, we've added this, we've done this. And so what we were able to provide through the state committee was textbooks for that category that were 100% aligned with the state standards. The systems in the state, Jefferson County and everybody else, chooses their curriculum off of those state lists. So what that means is there's a limit to what county commission, school board can do in terms of curriculum. It has to be, first of all, approved by the state level.
And a summary statement?
Summary statement. How many minutes?
One.
I think I'm qualified to do this for a whole bunch of reasons. We've heard people talk about where they're from. I'm from Indian Creek, south of the river. I'm waiting for, okay, there we go. If you don't know where that is, it's between Muddy Creek and Muddy Hollow. Go to Decatur Hill, turn left before you go over. Grew up on a farm there, so I know a lot about hard work. When it comes to working in the farm, we had a tobacco patch. We plowed with the horses, okay? I've been thrown off of a disc at least once in my life. And so I know a little bit about hard work. I have grown up here, gone through school here as a student through Swansylvania, which is closed, but it's not my fault. Went to Maury High School, last graduating class out of there. And so I know what it's like to be a student in Jefferson County. My wife and I had 3 kids that go through the school system. We know a little bit about what it's like to be a parent in Jefferson County. Spent 33 years, 18 at White Pine Middle School, 15 at the high school. So know a little bit of what it's like to be a teacher, okay? My wife spent time as an administrator. I know a little bit of something what it means to be an administrator because she told me what it was like to be an administrator. And so I think we have those things. I have a strong interest in school, in education. I went back and got my PhD in social studies education. I'm still working as the executive director for the Tennessee Council for the Social Studies. We just finished our state conference on Friday. And so I signed up on Friday for another 4-year term. I have also spent time as president of the Jefferson County Historical Society, many other things. So looking forward to the opportunity to put those skills and that background of work for the school system, for the kids, for the teachers, for the taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fitchum. Great. Just before, Jeff,
I'm going to announce.
Go ahead.
3 people, if you can, 1 second. Okay, just wanted to make, are we on? Nope, I'm blinking. My bad.
Right there.
This will work. I wanted to recognize 3 other candidates that are in the room. If you wouldn't mind, just stand up so you can be recognized. They're unopposed. It's Highway Commissioner District 1, that's Brenda Morgan, and Raymond Wolfenbarger. None here? All right, and District 2, Matt Courtney? I think you're officially the person who's been here the longest today. All right, and I'm gonna let Doc close.
The quick story, very quick. Congressman Phil Rowe, one time voted the #2 most effective congressman of 435. District 1, I miss him a lot. We all miss him a lot. He was my guest speaker when I had our orthopedic leadership conference in Washington, D.C. And I was in charge. We had 400 plus orthopedic surgeons. And Dr. Rowe made this wonderful, wonderful speech encouraging orthopedic surgeons to get involved, just as you have in your local government. He said, run for the city council, run for the county commission, run for mayor, but never run for school board. Doug, Mark, you guys really deserve the prize because it's a no-win situation. Nobody appreciates you. You do the heavy lifting, so thank you very much. It's been a joy to be here tonight. Still got the dollar. If somebody can tell me who my good friends are on the county commission, Jeff, Chrissy, and my sidekick here, Sophie Swan, who has kept me straight for the most part. Thank y'all very much.
Guys, that concludes the evening. Thank you for sticking it out with us. Thank you very much.